For me, the speed of response to the financial crisis is in sharp contrast to the somewhat reluctant response on meeting world poverty issues. My message is simple. You can park unsold cars, but you can't park poverty and hunger. 50. To have any hope of meeting such targets, such as doubling food production, means all countries must apply the same energy and focus on food production as they have on the financial crisis. The good news is that the number living in absolute poverty has reduced. That is good news. But that is mainly because of China's success in implementing policies that have moved hundreds of millions of their people out of poverty. Unfortunately, the rest of the world has made only modest progress. There is, I think, a certain irony that in the middle of the biggest financial crisis in 70 years, the world is forced to face issues that have been ignored in the past. Let me start the conversation by making the bold observation, and this will be a conversation, I'm sure, during the Congress, the bold observation that the world as we have known it can't and won't continue as before. The absolute growth in world population, coupled with the rapid aging of population in the rich developed world, will usher in profound shifts in power and politics. Going forward, the big question is what approach to financial management will deliver better long-term solutions and outcomes. For example, over recent years, commentators shut their eyes to any possible implications from the huge aggregation of wealth by the few and were in fact, with exceptions, silent about such growing disparities all around the world. In my view, such huge gaps in spending power are a major factor in the world's current financial mess. Too many were locked out of the world economy. The potential of Africa and elsewhere will require many things, including reform of world trade policies. So where to from here on food production? In my view, the whole question of science and the use of genetically modified crops to boost food production will gain greater acceptance as pressure on food supplies grows. Someone once said that technology is not kind, it does not wait, it does not say please, it slams into existing systems and often destroys them while creating new systems. You don't have to buy into the whole argument to acknowledge that science and technology, including that required to better utilize land and water, will reshape food production in the 21st century. The acceptance of science as an essential tool in the production of sufficient food for the world family, creates new issues. At a time when we've just witnessed how vulnerable supersized banking institutions prove to be, the last thing the world needs is a very small number of super large companies that could dominate seed production and availability. Equally, a similar development could see a few mega buyers for very large wholesalers stroke retailers, which in turn would dictate prices to producers. In the middle of the current financial crisis, current meltdown, governments need to remind themselves that for modern capitalism to be successful requires open markets which permit open competition. Governments have a role to ensure that this happens, as monopolies and near-monopolies never provide the best option. The major issues I have focused on can all be resolved with our current state of knowledge and the growth of knowledge continues apace. What the world needs now are leaders in government, commerce and civil society that will rise above petty ambitions and narrow calculations to see a better world that is there for the taking, if they collectively have the courage